Howdy all, this is Andrew coming back at you with progress on the Ultimate Google Ads keyword sheet. So I've done a lot of work, been hooking up some really cool things to this sheet. So let me just take you to the big picture of how this is working. So I've done a few things. This page exists, the locations page exists, the business locations she exists, and then we have these other sheets that I've found that are actually really handy to have. So, okay, let's say you have these phone numbers, right? But maybe you have a phone number that is like a personal phone or something where you don't want it to be ringing at all times of the day. How would you do that with Google Ads? Well, you'd add a schedule to that phone number. So what I've done is I've created a sheet where you can kind of create a schedule and then give it like a name, and then you can come over to the phone number sheet and apply it. So it's kind of modular. And then we have the callouts and site links, which um, let's say you have two different ads. In my field, I have SEO and then I have Google Business Profile stuff. So I might have two different landing pages for those two different services. And you don't want the site links to be all the same. You want them to be specific to that thing, to that landing page. So that's what this sheet's for. It's designed to take whatever your landing page content has, plus, if you have individual instructions, you can do that. And it's also going to factor in global instructions. So for every page, it's going to have global instructions. And then after that, you can be as specific or as unspecific as you want. But the more specific you are, the better the results, right? Like if you have a Google Business Profile landing page, trying to sell that product, it's going to be better if you're talking about Google Business Profile stuff. So that's what this is going to do. And then with all of that information, like phone numbers and stuff, we're basically kind of assigning them to landing pages. And then, from there, you'll kind of see what I'm doing. But yeah, it's a little intimidating at first, but let me just show you the kind of the bits and pieces and make sense of it. So we have the sheet, and this is for site links and callouts. So at the top, we have global stuff, and at the bottom, we have specific landing page stuff. So global site links, think about us, contact, maybe you have some kind of discount or testimonials page. So you might see those in ads like kind of coming up, and those might be applicable to every single landing page. So that's where you set these. And how do you do it? Well, you can put manually in, or what I did is I hooked up AI to this. It was a ChatGPT 4 or something like that. So I got a few credits and wired it up to this. And then what you do is you say generate global extensions AI. And now what it's going to do is it's going to go and it's not just, doing whatever. I'm giving it actual instructions, and those instructions live into my Google Drive, and I have a special file structure. So I'll have the general, like the global instructions on how to write copy. So it's going to talk about tone. It's going to talk about um, kind of stuff about copywriting. And then for each landing page, it's going to have its own individual instructions, and it's in markdown form, so which is easier for the AI here to make sense of. So when I click this, it's going to look at all of those landing pages and all the information and try to figure out what is going to be the best site links and call outs. And it's also going to make sure like the character count is right, so it's not going to be too long. So let's give that a try. It's going to click it. Might need to wait a few seconds for it to do its thing. And we'll see. Okay, so that's it. There they are. Okay, so we got SEO stuff. That's looking good. Social media. Let's see what they got. Content creation service. I do that. Affordable SEO plans. Yep. Online reputation management. So there's still a few things I need to tweak. I put in a global instruction sheet that was just very generic. I had ChatGPT write it up really quick, but I can obviously fine tune this and make this a lot better. So let's say this is, past 25 characters. How would we know? Well, let's wait a few seconds. Uh-oh. So it just noticed what I did. So I'm going to say no, but then it's going to be, ooh, that's red. Means there's something wrong. So I'm going to get rid of that. And then it should turn green. Great. Okay, so that's going to, this is like a dummy check to make sure you're not making text that's too long. And then on this other side, we have the callouts, right? So we got these things: success tracking, client-centric focus, tailored solutions. I would probably manually change these because they're not always going to be great, but it's a good starting point. And for status, I'm not sure if I really need to keep this, but what's important is this checkbox. So let's say you find one you really like. So we'll just select 2 or 3 here. And you think these are going to be they're always going to be site links for every single one of my ads. And then you can set the URL. So I'm going to say that, give it those URLs. Okay, so it's going to lead to that URL every time. And now let's scroll over here. We'll pick like these 3. Great. So whatever landing page we have, they're always going to get those. Now, we're just going to do the same thing, but now we're going to do this for specific landing pages. I've already created, specific stuff for these pages. Actually, for one of them, I mentioned to talk about a pink elephant. So I want to see if it's going to catch that note that I added and write specifically about a pink elephant, just to make sure it works. So let's go ahead and we're going to generate LP. Actually, no, there's one more thing. So if I go to landing pages, now this is like, for each landing page, we're going to have data. But there's some important stuff here. So like add LP or writing instructions. I've clicked yes. So it should be paying attention to those instructions. Otherwise, it would just fall back to kind of generic information. So that's important. Now let's give it a run. Generate LP extensions. Okay, so it's going to tell you what it's going to do. So it's saying you already got these 3 global site links. That's correct. And now it's going to add 17 more because you can have a total of 20 site links, so might as well use them all. So we got that. And then we have this for the callouts. So there's 3 callouts that I picked for global, and that should be good. So I'm just going to say yes, continue. It might take a little longer because this is more stuff for it to do. Okay, here we go. This is good, looking great. So we have the landing page that it applies to. So what landing pages are we looking at? So we have this one and this one, and we have the URLs for each right there and right here. And then we have that note basically to add that as to use those individual instructions. Success. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so now I'm wondering if it ever talked about a pink elephant. Maybe I need to work more on the AI side of things. Let's check it out. Pink. Haha! Look, it's reading the individual instructions. What do you know? All right, so it actually worked. So it is looking at the individual instructions. And now what I can do, let's say, we got all the site links here. This is looking great. They're all grouped together. I can also filter if I want, so I can look at just the SEO, just Google Business. So let me just do that. I click it and it should just do it. Yeah, okay, now I'm looking at this filtered row. Yeah, there's some little glitches that I'll need to fix, but okay. We have this, we have the pink elephant. Now we can decide, should it go there or should it go somewhere else? I can say that this link goes to somewhere else. Like imagine this is a about us page or something. Oh, and speaking of which, so these globals, SEO service overview, that's right there. And that's right there. So it's doing its job. It took the globals and it made sure it's in there. And did it do it for the callouts? Let's see, we have proven quick, no. Proven quick, no. Yep. And it did the same for that. And then it just added the rest to make sure it's up to 20. And was that 20? Pretty sure. Likes to do that extra one for some reason. They need to fix that. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And yeah, we can decide which landing page to point it to. And that's and then we're done. So we've already matched up the site links and callouts with the individual pages. So that's cool. And once we do that, we'll be able to move on to the other step of basically having AI do something similar, but it's going to write the ad copy and all that. So it's already done a halfway decent job of this. SEO progress reports, experience matters. That's kind of dumb. More leads guaranteed. I would say like, highly experienced or something. I mean, of course, experience matters. It's not really telling me like experience matters, but like, am I experienced? It's really stupid. Effortless SEO setup. Okay, that's cool. I mean, SEO sounds complicated to people, but yeah, you can see there's room to improve the AI responses. So now what's next? So we've done this and it's like kind of halfway decent. I would probably be tweaking my prompts to get better results. So once that all looks good, it's kind of done. So I should be able to write or have AI generate some kind of script that's going to take these and put them in the right place. But how do we know they're going to be put in the right place? Well, first off, we've already grouped them according to the landing page. Awesome. So that's done. But then we got to do the campaign assignment. So we come to the campaign, we look at the keywords here, and then we decide, okay, what landing page would work best here? Is it this one? Is it the Google Business Profile page? And then we assign to the campaigns, and that's it. Once you've done that, there's not much else to do besides, well, I mean, yeah, writing the copy, of course, the ad copy, but that's what we're gonna have ChatGPT do, and we'll of course like qual look over it and change things and make it better, but um, just in terms of getting these ads created and potentially like thousands of ads created quickly, this could really save a lot of time. So just looking at the overview. Oh, actually, let me mention that scheduling sheet. So scheduling, right? So here's an example: business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 to 17. So here is a one business schedule, and here's weekends only. And maybe you'll have like some holiday ones. You can throw in holiday hours, whatever. So you'll have those, and then you can assign them to the phone over here. So business hours, you can do weekends only or something like that. And what's nice is it gives you like a little panel to tell you more about that. So you got your phone extensions here, and you can apply those to let's see, not business locations. I think it's just locations really. Location. Let's get to locations. Locations master. Yeah, that's where you do it. So we come over here, and then we have that. So it's not the schedule, it's the phone. So we have the phone, which has the schedule attached to it. Yeah. Okay, lots of moving parts, but it's coming together. So we got the scheduling sheet. It's going to go to that. Does it go to the call outs? Actually, I think it really just goes to the phone numbers. If we're going to double check that. Call outs, site links and call outs. And then there would be a site link schedule. Right. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Now, if you had a special deal, like this month only, we're doing this, um, maybe you'd want that site link to expire after that week, right? You don't want to show a deal that's not existing to people. So that's where that might come in handy. Or, yeah, so just something like that, right? So it's just like another extra thing, if you needed to use it. And the callouts also have that schedule as well. So yeah, making a lot of progress. Really excited to be able to hook up AI to this, and it's kind of a proof of concept that this could work for the ad copy as well. I'd just love to click a button and say generate copy, and that's it. I think that's the ultimate. So of course you gotta check it, but making progress. And if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and all that. Thanks. Bye.